Good morning, everybody. This morning I'm going to be inking this new tune featuring Thomas Adams, who I learned about in Joel Beakey's book, Meet the Puritans. He was apparently one of the first Puritan, the early, I'm going to say early or late 1600s. I don't have the book with me here right now. I believe it's upstairs. But I am using this ink brush pen number 24. I don't know what brand it is because I do not read Japanese. But I'm just gonna start inking. First, I'm gonna share the stream on X and also on my Substack. Real quick before we get started. Post. Then go to my Substack, post it on there. If you guys aren't subscribed to my Substack, go check that out, reftoons.substack.com. Trying to keep my voice down because everyone else is sleeping here in the house. Okay, we'll post, paste that link, and let me just say something about it quick. Inking a new tune featuring Thomas Adams, the Puritan Thomas Adams. Okay, shared. Come back to here. Now we can start. The quote is, "Riches and contentment are like two buckets. While one comes up full, the other goes down empty." So we've got this guy here, Thomas Adams, cranking the crank on the well, and this guy pulling out all these jewels and everything and representing his riches. And he's constantly saying more, more, more. Well, his bag is already full and he's got them coming out of his pockets. And then the other one's going down empty. Hold on, I'll be right back. Had to turn notifications off on one of the phones out there, otherwise it was going to be dinging like crazy. Okay, so let's start inking. I penciled this the other day live on stream. When I ink, I'm going to start up in the top corner, but I'm also gonna put on a glove so that I don't smear the pencils. And I might move my light as well because it's casting a shadow in the wrong direction. If I have enough. There we go. There, that's better. It's a little bright on my face, but it'll do. There. I can't see. Okay, that's gotta go down. There. That's a little better. For me, anyways. Okay, I always get nervous when I start to ink these because I know if I mess up, I just have to start over again with the whole drawing. So let's try not to mess up. I typically use my Pentel pocket brush, but I couldn't find it. And I had this one laying around that I haven't really used very much. So I thought I'd pick this one up and start using it. Here, I'll move this over more. Is that better? Yeah. There's my coffee. I poured my coffee early before it was done brewing, so I've got the strong stuff in my cup now. Hold on. There's a pen that I need to grab. I was doing some watercoloring last night and using this pen over on the kitchen table, dining room table. Okay. Just get this guy's eyes while I have this pen out. I like to do their eyes with a more controlled pen tip because it's hard to control the tiny the tiny tip of this pen, this brush, to get it exactly how I need it to be for the eyes. Boy, I'm really glad I decided to get back into inking these, drawing these on paper. I'm really looking forward to getting more of these out like this. I have a whole list of quotes that I'd like to illustrate. And now I finally feel like I have time to get back into them. My plan is to dedicate mornings to the new tunes. And then during the day, I will be working on my other projects that need to get done, like the book 3 of John Calvin's Instututes is what I'm currently working on, as well as doing some fixes for book 2 before it goes to print. Or issue 2, I should say. It's all still book 1, but different chapters in book 1. Not sure what it is about drawing with ink on paper that I really like, but maybe it's just the tactile nature of it, the way it feels in my hand and how I can control it. It's a different type of control than what you have with drawing digitally. It's a lot more sensitive. And there's less room for mistake. When you do make mistakes, sometimes you just have to improvise with those mistakes, otherwise you're redrawing entire pages all over again. So there's a sense of control that you have to have, not only with the pen, but with your mind and the knowledge of how whatever you're drawing works, how it works, and the physics and the motion of it. Once I get into it, not as terrifying to me to mess up, because I feel like I'm really getting the flow of the inks back. So that pencils are wrong. So I'm gonna have to adjust those as I ink down, because I want his foot to be further back on this bucket. But I drew his leg too proportionally small right there. Ooh, sorry. It's early. I have Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan stuck in my head. My son learned to play that on his harmonica and his ukulele last night. And so he was playing that for us. It's pretty good. I was impressed. Some implied lines down here. So when I color it, I'll have to fill in the end of this bucket when I color it. And I'll be coloring it with Copic markers. Alright. Got that character drawn. I'm going to move over to the well. I used to do these early morning live streams like this. Called them Coffee and Tunes or something like that. Coffee and Cartoons. But then I got so busy with a lot of different things and I had to stop. I got a full-time job. So I was up early to get there early because it was a 45-minute drive to get in. But now I've dropped that down to just 1 day a week at that job. And the rest of the time is at home, getting all these projects done. Now, I feel like I've got the time to put into these early morning drawing sessions. I'm going to draw this pole all the way through here. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. Excellent. Muy excelente. And stomach is growling. I haven't decided yet whether I want to do the words in pen and ink or if I want to do those on the computer, just to have it look a little nicer. But I'm kind of leaning towards doing them in pen and ink. Just to keep the consistency and to practice writing text and making it look nice. I just penciled this in just to have it where it needs to be, but I need to practice writing my text so it looks nice. I'm not the best at handwriting. I don't know why there's there shouldn't be two of these. Well, guess there's my mistake. I knew I was going to make a mistake. Besides not being able to find my Pentel pocket brush pen, the other reason I chose this particular brush pen is because I used it last night when I was practicing watercolor, and I noticed that the ink that's in this brush is like super dark, super black, super rich, and it just popped right off the page. And it seemed a lot darker or deeper of a black than even my pocket brush. It seems to sit on top of the paper a lot better too. So the reason that's good is because when I scan these into the computer, it's going to be a lot easier to separate those blacks from the page so that I can have that that layer of blacks in my file. Because what I do is, like, I'll scan it after I get the inks done. After I erase all the pencils, I'll scan the inks into the computer. Then I'll color it on the page here. Then I'll scan that into the computer. And I'll adjust the values on the computer of the colors. And that usually affects the way the inks look on the page. So then I'll take that other ink layer that I had separated, I'll put it over top of the color layer and just match it up with wherever the inks are supposed to be. And that gives me the nice darker inks on top for so that it looks better on the computer screen, since that's where it is mostly going to be seen. I also have some white ink that I can basically delete one of these pieces of rope with. Okay, now need to draw some gems in here, but I might try to do that. With a pencil, if I can find a pencil. We'll use one of these chunky pencils. These are some pencils I got from my work. They were pencils that they bought to test out like printing on them. They didn't work for them, so they just set them out and said, "Here, take as many as you want." So I took a bunch, and I've already I've used like 3 of them so far that have broken. Tossed them. But it has graphite in it, and I need to have a better idea before I start inking of what these gems are going to look like in here. Oops, that should go straight down. We'll have some gold nuggets in here as well. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing here. And actually, well, whoa. See what I mean? That was not supposed to. I was just trying to get this metal piece off so I can get to this eraser. And now, all my pencil lead is all over the place here. Let's fix this somehow. Fix it. Nope. Oh, great, it broke. Come on. Okay. Well, I guess that's another pen that's... Oh wait, now it's going. Guess it's not broken. Okay, now I can put these back in. Come on. fun. Alright, let's try this again. Gonna erase this guy's hand and his arm. This is a terrible eraser. Wow. Look at all that. Look at how white that is compared to the rest. That just means all this is just like graphite that's been smudged. There we go. I should have given him $ signs for eyes. Maybe. Oh, but I do need to... Well, I hear someone's alarm going occasionally, but I don't hear anyone getting up, so I'm not sure if I'll need to go wake somebody up or what. Not quite sure what's going on here. Oh, that's his overalls. Yeah. There we go. Make it more obvious that he's kneeling. And he is barefoot. Should be. Okay. So now that I've clarified that for myself, now I can continue inking with confidence. Uh-oh. Coffee's getting room temperature. This means it's almost time to go heat it up by pouring some more in. Oh, I wonder if I should use my... Try that. I'm gonna use my micron pen to get some of those little details in there. Do some of this. Okay. Yeah, I think that worked a little better. Sometimes what I used to do is just try to use the tip of the brush pen, and it would just, sometimes it would glob like right there and there. I wouldn't get a really fine line like what I was hoping for. And I just never really thought to grab one of these smaller pens to do that with. I think in my mind I was thinking, well, it wouldn't look consistent, but I think it does. I think it's a good way to do that. I've seen other artists do that as well, and so I thought, I'm just gonna do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the lines on the rope. So, and some details here. Yeah. This is a good size tip, too, for this pen. Thankfully, because it was the only one I could find. So I think there's a theme here of me not being able to find my pens. I'm gonna fill up my coffee. I'll be right back. So, what are you guys drinking? I'll be right back. I'm drinking Cameron's out of my 1689 cup. Man, I poured that into my mug and it dripped, so it like splashed and it flew up into my ear and burned my ear. Okay, now I'll get this guy. Excuse me. Man, I'm so used to zooming in on the computer, so looking at this from this far away is a little difficult, and I'm realizing I might need a new prescription of my glasses. He's gonna have a gold tooth as well. All right. Well, it's coming along. Almost done here. You hear the train? Every morning. This time. And every night around 11 p.m. And at Christmas time, it plays jingle bells on its horn, which is fun. Well, as I finish this up, I will do all my shout outs, so don't forget to check out RefToons.com. Today's Monday, so there's a free coloring page out there. Go check that out, and if you're not signed up for the emails, sign up for the emails. You can do that on the at RefToons.com. Go to my Substack. You can also subscribe to that as well. It's free. And I will turn on the music, turn off the mic, and finish this up. Thanks for tuning in.